All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. As per usual, thank you ahead of time. Thank you for the 5x5s. So, appreciate it. Oh, boy. All right, so today's a little, obviously, I'm doing it on a Monday. I'm probably stepping on somebody's toes. I do apologize. But I'm working tomorrow night, so I can't do tomorrow night's live stream. For a minute, I thought today was Tuesday because I'm doing this live stream today. But anyway, let's get it out of the way. Flown Grown. Home Slice. All right, whatever. Thank you for the 5x5. Loretta, Dan, Joe, Big John, Brian, Cat Girl, James, Master Blaster. Thank you for the 5x5. Elaine, Prep to Adapt, Bush Pig, Let's Go, Max, Grit and Grace. Groundhog, thank you for the 5x5. Dobie, Crow, Dana, All Seeing Cat, Countless, thank you for the 5x5. Big John, Christopher P. Rhonda, Nick, thank you for the 5x5. SP, thank you for the 5x5. William, thank you for the chair by chair. Nick, GMA, Finley the Dog, William Case, thank you for the 5x5. SP, if I missed you, 5x5. Laura, Just J, Visit, Ozark, Chris, Big John, thank you for the 5x5. Dwayne, Mado, Lexi, Sheep, Nancy, Anastar, Cooper, Henry, Starfleet, Merlin, Revolutionary Prepper, thank you for the 5x5. Michelle, Marion, and Rev Rebel, thank you for the 5x5. So, let's get on with the nonsense, if you will. So first of all, let me hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. You know how that goes. Helps out with the algorithm, helps it get further reach or some nonsense like that. YouTube's always changing their algorithm, right? So one day it's thumbs up, the next day it's a good thumbnail, the next day it's like, good description in the description section. Who the fuck knows, man? Prep Revelator, Havoc, Water Tiger, thank you for the 5x5. Keith in Arizona, 1 second after. Florida, DCL, and CJ preparing. Sorry. Thank you for the 5x5. Yeah, I know, Johnny. I know. All right, so that being it, let's get on with it. So, apparently, no, I don't think Adriana's on tonight. She could be sick. She's missing it. She's actually used to a Tuesday live stream. So, probably tomorrow she'll be looking for it. And maybe I should have gave her a heads up. But I do apologize for not. I wasn't going to do tonight. I really wasn't. But I was preemptively being prepared for being tired, destroyed tonight. And for whatever reason, I feel good. Go figure. Someone, can you do a video on people seeing demon faces? I'm going to tell you something about that. That is not a disorder. Okay, it could be. But I'm not buying it. And not as of recently. With everything going on, now all of a sudden, people seeing demon faces are considered, it's a medical condition. A medical condition that, Johnny 308, I'll do that. A medical condition that, again, I never heard of it. That's not saying that it doesn't exist. That's not saying that it wasn't something they diagnosed years or decades ago. But, I don't know. Too many things are going on for this to be coincidental. Hold on, give me a second. I can't type and talk at the same time, apparently. You know what's funny? I hate doing shorthand. Like when you say by the way, you go, what is it, BTW? I hate doing that. All right, so I text her, see if she pops up. She could be busy. That's the other thing, too. People are busy. People do have lives. They don't have to entertain me in my bullshit or help me out in every episode. There is that as well. But anyway, so again, the whole the demon face thing. Okay, she's running late. I don't know. I'm not buying it. Like, again, with everything going on, and when I saw that article a couple months ago, I was like, Strawberry 32. No, I didn't. I haven't done anything on that yet. But it's red flaggy to me if you ask me. Just with everything going on against Christianity, against Jesus, against God, and then they say, "Oh, these people who see demon faces are sick." What if they're not sick? What if it's not a mental condition? What if they are actually seeing people for who they are? Now, some of these people that experience this phenomenon, if you will, they do. It's like a nightmare for them. But what is not explained, it was explained for one person. They saw everybody with a demon face. That might be a problem. But if you see certain people with demon faces, which they didn't clarify, just to be clear, they didn't clarify it, so I'm assuming they only see certain people with these faces, and those people might actually be such, or have a bad aura, if that makes sense. Whatever. Anyway, I do want to look more into it, but I think they are downplaying it. Tonight on The Angry Truth, we are going to talk about Jesus and how they were penalizing or threatening to penalize Olympic athletes if they praise God, praise Jesus. And then there was one person who had a symbol on a device, I guess. We'll talk about what it was and what were his ultimatums in regards to getting rid of it. So I found that this Olympics was very, I don't know about the other Olympics, but this one had a very evilish undertone, if evilish is even a word. It's not a word, but whatever. You get my point. Yeah, Crow, I know I know Trump's on X. And again, not that I had to do this live stream tonight. I'd rather get it out of the way, especially what I read earlier this morning, which was a huge red flag when talking about World War III and things of that, not even things of that nature, World War III. Now, apparently the United States were sending over submarines or a submarines and a couple battleships with, how'd they put it? With haste? Meaning they were putting a rush on them to get over to the Middle East from here. That means they're moving as fast as they possibly can through the water, and they're going nonstop. So that was a red flag. We're going to get into that article in a little bit. But a lot of things, guys, everything's building up. And that's the problem. Everything is building up at the same time. We have the possibility of a third world war, right? Now, whether that goes full Mad Max or limited, that remains to be seen. That's the bigger question. And a lot of people are hoping that it's limited. But I don't know. I don't know. Lagos, I don't know how to say your name, dude, but I have a fitness channel for over 40 for its old bitches that are experiencing knee pain and all kinds of bullshit. I am doing a video. I'm doing 2 videos for the month of August. I missed the videos for the month of July. I just got too busy. But I have a couple of videos coming out, and one video for men, not women, unless you want to grow chest hair and balls, testosterone. There's a lot of talk about testosterone and taking something called TRT. We're going to talk about that in the video. I would probably rather do that as a live stream, but we're going to do that in video form because that video is very important to what I see happening with men moving forward. We are being told a lie with testosterone, and we are paying the price. And for those of you that know what TRT is, you know what the price I'm talking about. Right? So anyway, 40 ain't old. No, it isn't. But listen, the other day when I was walking down the fucking stairs, guess what was going on? My knees were clicking like an old fucking man. I almost sat down on the stairs and started fucking filling out an application for a retirement home in mid-process. And I'm talking about on my phone. I'm walking down the stairs and I hear click, click, click. And I'm like, you fucking kidding me? So I almost sat down on the stairs, whipped out my phone, and started looking for retirement homes because I'm like, oh, it's time. Put me out to the pastures and put one in the back of my head. Something. Because that was bad. Now, I shifted my gait and I turned my foot out and the clicking stopped. and it hadn't happened since. But it was a. If you were walking next to me, you would have been like, "What the fuck's that clicking sound? What are you, the Tin Man?" And I was ready to add some fucking oil on my knees. Testosterone replacement therapy. That's what Thank you, Dan Phillips, for answering that question. For those who were wondering what TRT is. Anything for 63-year-olds, just build muscle. And not so much build muscle, but keep the muscle you have by lifting weights. That's all you can do. The muscle you have on your body currently, keep it. Because the older you get, obviously starts diminishing, and at some point, you can't build muscle anymore. You can sustain. And you can sustain up till, I think they said, your 70s. Late 60s, early 70s. And then you got to do what you can to sustain it. And there's a lot that you can do to sustain it. But the medical industry is telling you can't. The medical industry is telling you your test is going to drop at 60, 30 or so, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's bullshit. TRT is a pharmaceutical drug that the pharmaceutical companies want you to take and convince you that this is all you're going to be worth. That no matter what you do, no matter what diet you switch to, you can't gain it back. And that's bullshit. Absolute another bullshit. But anyway. He said, I threw my back out just looking under the bed. Yeah, wait till you fucking throw your back out just reaching for soda or water. That's going to be really interesting. On the fucking floor crying and shit and carrying on. Like a fucking asshole. Ready to fucking, that old lady, help, I can't get up, or whatever the fuck it was. That was ready to be me in the staircase. That clicking was insane. I've had clicks in my knee, but I can hear it. I can hear click, click, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? I mean, I felt it and I heard it. It was just fucking old age. Just fucking bury me. And don't even bury me. Roll me up on a carpet and leave me on the side of the fucking highway. It's not shit I can do about it anyway. Fucking this old age shit just sucks. It just sucks. Gray hairs on my fucking chest. I thought that was going to be the last thing to go gray. When I start seeing gray hair in my arms, I know it's over. I'm going to be sitting next to Gertrude and playing fucking bingo and watching reruns of Golden Girls and Gilligan's fucking Island. That's my fucking future. But anyway, angry midlife crisis. I'm not 50 yet. I use a walker. No shit. Well, you probably have other problems. And that's the other thing, too. I don't want to get into the whole medical shit. That's probably a live stream or another video or a few videos. I would probably want to do a live stream on the Angry Fitness channel, but I don't know when I would do it. Maybe a double header. Do the Angry Film Critic, and then the Angry Fitness channel. And the fitness would be really short. But anyway, enough of that bullshit and old people talk. With that, guys, whatever happens next, if I try to run from a nuclear bomb or just get into some kind of battle, I'm done. My knees are clicking. I'm going to give away my position if I'm sneaking up on my enemy. I'm going to be sneaking up on somebody, going to hit click, click. They'll be like, it's that motherfucker. It's Angryprepper and his clicky fucking knees. So, guys, Russia, I think, is about to let loose on the Ukraine. So a lot of us stopped talking about Ukraine for the obvious reason. It's getting fucking old. But Russia, I think, is set to let some shit go on the Ukraine. I think they're going to fucking ass rape the Ukraine. Like, hard. I mean, they're going to go after it. What the Ukraine did the other day, if you believe it, I don't know. I'm sort of like, did they really make that move on, what was it, Kursk or whatever it was? Right? Yeah, Kursk. I said that right? They made that offensive on Kursk, and they made that move about 20 miles in. I think Russia's making a case to use a tactical nuke. They had an emergency meeting. Russia told RT News that everything was okay. That nothing was that nothing's what it seemed or some craziness like that. And again, the UK has Russia has a very, very long history of lying. Like any other organization. They have country. They lie. We all lie. Every last one of us lies. No one's innocent. Russia's not telling the truth. The United States is not telling the truth. The UK, France, maybe the Netherlands. Maybe up there they tell somewhat of the truth. But no one's innocent. So anybody's just defending Russia, again, if you believe anything Russia has to say, I got a fucking a pot of gold in my apartment. Come and get it. Anyway, Putin says Ukraine wants to destabilize Russia with Kursk offense. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Monday, today, that Ukraine was trying to undermine Russia's stability with its incursion in the south of the country, but that it would not succeed. They succeeded. They succeeded 20 miles in. Now, whether they can hold it, that's a different conversation. And that's probably what he meant, I guess. I don't know. I'm just reading the shit here, man. I'm just here being a black prepper, reading you guys the news. That's all it is. If I got some of this shit wrong, I apologize. If I think there's way more behind these articles, but I'm not going to get into it. G-Ma, is it your birthday? Very good. Happy birthday, G-Ma. G-Ma. Hope I'm saying that right. Happy birthday. Yo, that water tiger, age is just a number. Fuck that shit. It is a number. It's a number that gets you closer to your death. When people are like, age is just a number. The fuck it is. 46, I feel every bit of that. I did see a video of Sylvester Stallone doing some fucking crazy training bullshit. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He did some weird peacock shit with his weights, and I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. And they were like, age is just a number. No, the fuck it isn't. The older you get, the harder it is to work out and keep that fucking flow going. It just is. All right? Your knees and your hips will fucking tell you how old you are. Your back, you go to drink water, you're like, oh, shit. Your back will tell you how old you are. I want to hear this shit, age is just a number. That's some shit immature people who don't want to fucking let go say. Though, I'm telling you, it's fucking bullshit. Every fucking bit of it, you feel. You're 54, definitely waking up in the morning feeling 54-ish. Now, don't get me wrong. If you stretch for a long period of time, and you stretch every day, you can definitely negate a lot of problems. But again, that's for the fitness channel, not here. The losses of the Ukraine armed forces are increasing dramatically for them, including among the most combat-ready units that the enemy is transferring to our border. Putin told televised meeting to his top security officials and regional governors. Again, the United States said they were taking losses, but they weren't taking dramatic losses, as the president of Russia put it. Whatever, man. Again, I got to take what everybody says with a grain of salt. Got to take what the United States said, Ukraine, and Russia. Take them all with a grain of salt. So hopefully we can read between the fucking lines. But Strawberry 32, he was showing off. Yeah, but if you saw that video, that shit made no sense. It made zero fucking sense. I was like, what the fuck's he doing? Why is he like, he did some shit with the weights. He was like, I was like, what the fuck is he doing? What is that? That made no sense. Whatever. It was a dumb fucking video. Until he started hitting the heavy bag, it was a dumb video up until that point. I don't know. The enemy will certainly receive worthy response, and all the goals facing us will without doubt be achieved. Putin said it appeared that Ukraine was trying to improve its negotiating position in the war, but that there could be no questions of negotiation with an enemy he accuses of targeting civilians in its operation in the Kursk region. Now, it's funny that Russia did the same thing, and now they're turning around accusing the Ukraine of doing the same shit. And again, this is why I take everything with a grain of salt, because both of these people are fucking out of their minds. Nonetheless, this is going to spark a tactical nuke. I think it's going to spark a tactical nuke being used by Russia. Russia's going to have their back against the wall, unless the Ukrainian president goes, we're going to do it first, and does some crazy shit. He does some kamikaze shit with a tactical nuke. That's a game changer if he does it first. If Russia does it, it's a game changer. It's an oh shit moment. But if the Ukrainian, Vladimir Zelensky does it, that's not even an oh shit moment. That's a everybody get to your bunker moment kind of shit. He said Putin said Ukraine was trying to slow Russia's advance on other parts of the battlefront, but that Moscow forces will still advance. We're still advancing. Sorry. Ukraine has not publicly disclosed the objective of their operation, which has caught Russia off guard after months of gradual Russia advances in the eastern Ukraine. Putin's comments were the most detailed he has made so far since Ukraine staged its shock cross-border attack on August 6th. They appeared to aim at demonstrating control of the situation and projecting confidence that the shock offensive would not. But Putin also told officials to be prepared for situations to get worse before it gets better. And that statement leads me even more to believe that a tactical nuke will be used. Now again, it's going to be used on the battlefield. It's going to be small yield, but people are going to be like, oh shit. And when I mean people, I mean everybody. Everybody's going to be like, what the fuck? They used a nuclear weapon. And here in the United States, the media is going to go out there and go, they used a nuclear weapon. To get everybody's attention, then they're going to start saying, well, it was a small nuke. It was a tactical nuke, which means, and then they're going to have experts in all kinds of shit, and they're going to have experts, and they'll bring out their schematic, and they're going to be like, and this is the yield that it is, and it affected this area right here. They're going to be doing this bullshit for the next 12 days. 14, to be exact, right? It's a 14-day cycle, or the 7-day cycle with the news. So 14 days, whatever it is. And they'll be talking about it like fucking monkeys and scaring the shit out of people. And then people are going to look at that and run to the supermarkets and start clearing out the shelves because they're panicky bitches. And the media is going to add into that panicky bitchness. And then people like preppers who sell shit are going to jump right in and be like, well, if you don't want to glow in the dark, you'll get a fucking biosafety suit. Whatever. So, with that, guys, that's the direction it's headed in. And that last statement said it all. Things are going to get worse before they get better. No shit. The same thing with Iran and Israel. That's going to get fucking way worse before it gets better. That's going to turn into a shit show. Again, guys, there is a side of me that just can't. I'm like a little excited. I'm like, yes, this is going to get ugly. How ugly? I don't know. But my preps are ready to rock and roll. If we don't get bombed. If we do, adios. Hudson Valley will do a memorial live stream, and then that'll be that. But hopefully, from what the signs that I'm picking up, I got a little time, but not much. That made sense. Anyway, Putin states the enemy will continue to try to destabilize the situation in the border zone in order to shake up the internal political situation in our country, he states. Therefore, if today the Bryansk region is relatively calm, this does not mean that the same situation will remain there tomorrow. The governor of Kursk region, addressing the same meeting, said Ukraine controlled 28 settlements there and that its forces had advanced 12 kilometers, 7.4 miles into Russia territory. I read something earlier today. They made it in a lot further, up to 20 miles in. Routers could not independently confirm the battlefield situation. So, small tactical nuke. United States panicking. UK, France, Australia panicking. Everybody in that region losing their shit, panicking. Russia will let people know in his circle that he's going to use a nuke. That would translate to us knowing also. Now, will the world know ahead of time? That I don't know. But everybody in that game will know. And some of us will find out. Some of us will probably even do videos before it happens. But I'm letting you guys know that there's definitely going to be a tactical nuke. Now, do I know that because I have some intel? Absolutely not. I know that because I'm paying attention. And paying attention to the fact that he had already stated that he might use tactical nukes, Putin, and that he's getting his military, some soldiers, ready to use nuclear weapons on the battlefield. I think I read that last week or the week before last. Now, some people will say that this is psychological warfare. between Iran threatening Israel and Russia threatening Ukraine. This is psychological warfare. It could be. Very well could be. I don't think so because motherfuckers are dying left and right on both sides. Remember all the people on my channel last year? They were like, was it last year? No, 2 years ago when Russia invaded Ukraine. People said, and I quote, Russia is going to steamroll over Ukraine. Yeah, my dick it did. It didn't, right? And I knew it wasn't. Because Russia is not that badassy as they say they are. But they like to believe so. The problem with Russia and countries like Russia is that their ego writes checks their country cannot afford or cash. So with that, Putin says a lot. And so does Putin's adversaries. And so does Putin's right hand. They say a lot of shit. And then they can't back it up. Anyway, Iran is looking to attack Israel very soon. Could be today, could be tomorrow, could be right this minute as we speak. Nonetheless, Iran's attack on Israel could last 3 to 4 days and will come by surprise. Now, the current world leaders are the stupidest people on the planet because when they make statements like it will come by surprise, you're telling people that it's coming. They told Israel last week that they were going to retaliate. How is it a fucking surprise? Can someone explain that to me? How this is a surprise? If you already told people what you were going to do. I'm going to punch you in your face. I'm going to punch you in your face. And then you get punched in the face and you don't block it, well, you're an idiot. But it wasn't a surprise because they gave you a heads up. Unless they do bing and then they do the other hand. Then that's an entirely different story. But still, you know you're going to get attacked. So why is this statement in the paper and why would you say this? I don't know. Not a very smart tactic, or maybe it is a tactic and it's to confuse everybody. Everybody's like, but why would they admit to that? Why would they say that? Anyway, Iran's response to this crime of Zionist regime will be definitive, and there is no doubt about it. Definitive. Whatever. Iran's aerial operation against Israel could last 3 to 4 days. Ahmad Bakhshahiri, whatever, a member of the Iranian Parliament's National Security Councilman. Iran's international reported on Saturday. Sorry, the way they word things are weird. Ardasani reportedly told Iran Watch, their newspaper, that Iran is certainly prepared for consequences of such an attack and will be ready for any subsequent developments, he said in the Iranian response. He added that the Iranian response would be carried out by surprise and even last 3 to 4 days. We get it already. He told the interviewers that bloodshed would be carried out to avenge Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, who was killed in Tehran while attending the inauguration of the new Iranian president, Pakistani. That's not his name, but I can't pronounce the shit. I think it's Peskani, if I said that right. Therefore, Iran's response to this crime of the Zionist regime will be definitive, and there is no doubt about it. They repeat themselves a lot in these articles. So Ardestani also told Iran Watch that prolonging response and making Israel wait for the response was in Iran's favor, as Israel feels every night that it is in limbo, and it keeps Israel in limbo is part of revenge operation. That's where the psychological warfare comes in that I mentioned earlier. Though not as smart, I mean, I don't know. You're telling people you're going to attack, and they have the Iron Dome and all those other defense systems, so they're ready to rock and roll. I mean, I don't think Israel's that nervous, but then again, I have no clue. Many experts have claimed that psychological warfare is part of Iranian strategy, also part of Russia and China. David Menasheri, an Iranian expert at Tel Aviv University, told The media line, Israel is not that good at the game of patience like Iran. So it will be interesting to see if it will act first. Iran is clearly winning the psychological warfare at the moment. That's interesting. I would have thought that they're like, fuck it, bring it. If it happens, it happens. So referring to claims by Iran's mission to the UN on Friday that Tehran would honor any Gaza ceasefire and hostage deals accepted by Hamas, and therefore may refrain from attacking Darstani. Attacking Darstani, said that this would be indeed the only situation in which Iran would not retaliate. However, he added that the state of negotiation between the two sides showed that it is unlikely that two sides will reach an agreement in the future, and for this reason, the Islamic Republic will not let go of the bloodshed of martyr Haniyeh. Again, if I said that right. When asked if the attack would be similar in nature to Operation True Promise, the name given by the Iran to the drone and missile attack on Israel in April, Adesanya said it might be similar, but of a greater scale. It might be similar of a greater scale. All right. Being that they're going to get it. That's pretty much what this article is saying. They're going to get it right up the ass. Right up the tailpipe. Now, they talk about the April attack. I don't want to talk about that shit. That shit's boring. Iran getting in it with Israel. Israel still taking their shit out on Palestine. Palestine's still crying and making 4K videos with kids saying, please, look at us. We need bread and water. Like that kind of shit. They had a video of a guy like, he's ready to jump off something. And then it cut. And this little Palestinian girl was like, I'm so sorry, I please. And I'm like, boop, scrolled right past it. I was like, stop. And listen, those videos are bullshit. 4K, clean as shit, not 1080, 4K, clean as shit. It's been copied, repaste, half a dozen times, and it lost no quality. I'm not buying this shit. The lighting was good. The dirt on her face was smudged just perfectly to make it look all fucking... I wasn't buying it, so I scrolled past it. I don't buy anybody in their bullshit. I don't buy the Israeli and the fucking woe was us. Oh, October 7th, look at us. I don't buy that bullshit. I don't buy the Palestinians and the, oh, we keep getting bombed. Then fucking leave. I mean, whatever. Both sides piss me off because they're dragging the rest of the world into this inevitable fucking World War III. Inevitable. I see a lot of pathetic people in NYC. Yeah, man. Yo, man, I don't want to get into it. But the crackhead situation out here, it gets worse every week. Every week, I count 15 more. 3 die, 15 more are born. They're like fucking gremlins. Except for you're not throwing water at them, you're throwing crack and heron at them, and they just multiply. Like, where the fuck did those 15 come from? 3 of them stroked out on the street corner having a fucking withdrawals or a bad batch, if you will, overdose. And 15 more pop out of the sewer system and the sky. Yo, they're just out of thin air. You're like, I was just looking down the block. Where the fuck did you come from? Every time one goes. Almost like if a fucking, what is it? Every time the bell rings, an angel gets his wings. It's the opposite of that. It's just fucking bad around here. Anyway, U.S. orders missile submarines to the Middle East with the readiness and speed. Now, the U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has ordered a guided missile submarine to the Middle East and is telling the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier strike group to sail more quickly to the area. Now, this article was written today. He was asking a strike group and a submarine to get there faster. That means they were already headed there, but he's like, yo, you guys have to be there yesterday, kind of shit. Oh, now I get the notification that Donald Trump is hosting on X. All right, whatever. The move comes at... For those that are watching both, Donald Trump, let me know how he does. Again, I have my suspicions about Donald Trump dialing it down after he got shot and tanking his own campaign. My personal belief. So, sorry. The move comes as the United States and other allies push for Israel and Hamas to achieve a ceasefire agreement that could help calm soaring tensions in the region following the assassination of a Hamas political leader, Ismail Haniyeh, in Tehran, and a senior Hezbollah commander in Beirut. Officials have been on the lookout for retaliatory strikes by both Iran and Hezbollah for its killing, and the U.S. has been beefing up its presence in the region. Major General Pat Ryder, Pentagon press secretary, said in a statement that Austin spoke with the Israeli Defense Minister Yogi Gallant, that was an easy one, early in the day, and reiterated America's commitment to take every possible step to defend Israel, and noted the strengthening of U.S. military force posture and capabilities throughout the Middle East in light of the escalating regional tension. Now, again, this haste, if you will, this hurry up, isn't good. They see something we don't see, clearly. They know something we don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, what's today, Monday, by the end of the week, if some crazy shit goes down over there. Now, will a small tactical nuke be used there? If Israel loses their fucking mind, they will. And if they do, it's on. And when I mean on, guys, I mean like, yo, it's on. That's next level shit. If Israel turns around and uses a tactical, if they just use a nuke of any kind, it's on. Every last Middle Eastern country will come on them like hell, rain, fire. We're talking about fire, brimstone, the end of the world kind of shit. Juby, thank you for that. She said, I'm sticking with your live stream. I appreciate it. Again, you guys don't have to follow me. There are other people you could be watching instead of watching me. We're tired of this dick-faced Negro. Let's watch the fucking Orange Man. I mean, you guys could be doing anything. Hell, you guys be watching a movie right now. So I do appreciate you guys being on here and watching my bullshit. I do appreciate it. Anyway. The Lincoln, the USS Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln rather, which has been in the Asian Pacific has already been ordered to the region to replace the USS Theodore Roosevelt aircraft carrier strike group, which is scheduled to begin heading home from the Middle East. So maybe that's why they rushed it there. One's coming home and the other one's going there, and they just want to replace and make sure something's in place should something go down. That makes more sense. Last week, Austin said that the Lincoln would arrive in the Central Command area by the end of the month. So they might be there by next week if they're moving faster than normal. It wasn't clear Sunday what his last order means. Okay, this is where it was. It wasn't clear Sunday what his last order means or how much quickly the Lincoln will steam to the Middle East. The carrier has F-35 fighter jets aboard along with F/A-18 fighter crafts that are also on the carrier. Ryder also did not say how quickly the USS Georgia guided missile submarine would get into that region. He said Austin and Gallant also discussed Israel's military operation in Gaza and the importance of mitigating civilian harm. Now, clearly, Israel doesn't give a shit about civilian harm. Though, listen, I think Israel is overstepping at this point with the excessive bombing, because they keep going back to October 7th. I get it. But now you're well past that point. It's like beating up somebody who punched you in the face by surprise. After they're down on the ground, there's no need to keep fucking pounding the shit out of them. There really isn't. Sway, I choose the dick face. Thank you. I appreciate that. The call comes days after Israel's airstrike hit a school-turned-shelter in Gaza earlier Saturday, killing at least 80 people, wounding up to nearly 50 other. Palestinian health authorities said in one of the deadliest attacks in the 10-month Israeli-Hamas war. Now, again, this is Hamas losing. I mean, not Hamas. My God, sorry. This is Israel losing their shit. They hit a fucking school-turned-shelter, killing 80 people. They have to be it's enough already. There's something else going on with Israel because their attack no longer makes sense. Now, if Palestine or Hamas is still attacking them, so be it. But that's not what I'm getting, and that's not the sense of any article, and even articles that are defending Israel are saying. All right, so, and then this is another article. I didn't read the whole thing, but the the United States Navy carrier airstrike group equipped with F-35 stealth fighters is rushing to the Middle East along with a submarine packed with Tomahawk missiles. Packed with some Tomahawk. Now that article title was from the Yahoo. Now, we have Ukraine, Russia about to get worse. We have Israel situation, the Middle East situation, going to get worse. Not if, when, how bad. I think tactical nuke bad. And if they go tactical nuke, it would be Israel setting it off, and then Israel will officially trigger the Third World War. If they set off a tactical nuke of any kind, they will trigger the Third World War. Now, moving right the fuck along. Sloth-born. Now, before I get into this disease part, there has been a lot of diseases popping up. I found something the other day, and I was like, oh, that's what it was. As a matter of fact, let me pull up the article, because Prep Revelator sent it to me, and I was like, all right. So, of course, guys, there's a deadly strain of monkeypox circulating. And this was caught a couple days ago. Actually, back at June 25th, WHO and scientists called for a highly dangerous monkeypox strain with a fatality rate of around 5% in adults, 10% in kids. This was back in June 25th of this year. Now, 4 days ago, sorry. It's only circulating right now in Africa. So don't, guys, send your prayers out to Mobutu and his family. But this is right now currently circulating in Africa. Deadly monkeypox virus spreads across African countries who likely to declare a global emergency. So when they declared a global emergency, they put in a meeting to start moving the Mpox on ticket. The Center of Disease Control, the CDC, on Wednesday alerted doctors to be on the lookout for a deadly strain of Mpox spreading through parts of Africa, while U.S. officials committed $424 million to the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is the epicenter of the outbreak. Now, a lot of these doctors do go to that region to help out medically. I'm watching ER on it. I know all about it now. No, just kidding. Why it matters, this strain is called a clade 1 virus. It's more virulent, deadlier than the clade 2 variety, which had an outbreak back in 2022. This one is the one. This one's going to be the one that's going to spread through and kill a lot of people. Now, this has, again, the mortality rate of 5% for adults, 10% for kids. Now, to be fair, in Africa, kids are not as healthy. With that being said, guys, their mortality rate is going to be a little higher than those of an American kid who has better medical care and a better diet, which is very arguable being at the shit that we put in our foods. Nonetheless, kids here are slightly healthier in that aspect, so the mortality rate might not be as high. Still, this is something that they're pushing, and again, the WHO, World Health Organization, said, yo, we got to go ahead with the arm ticket for the Mpox, which they gave out here to the gay community, the grown men who drive Teslas. They gave it out here, but I didn't hear that it didn't stop anything. It didn't even slow it down. The outbreak is still going. The media is not reporting it, but you can find it on other media sources. So mainstream media is not going to talk about it because it's still spreading. At an alarming rate, by the way, even though 90% of them, supposedly 75%, sorry, were arm ticketed against the monkeypox. All right. So, of course, mainstream media won't report it because that will tell you that it's not working. Another arm ticket that they rushed out. All right. So, let's pull up this article again. There's actually two articles I want to read. There's a sloth-borne virus that's killing people in their 20s. Now, I don't know if people are making love to sloth or licking its back or whatever the fuck they're doing. Nonetheless, this is another issue that's starting to rear its ugly head. All right, let's read the Mpox problem. So, that was the June one. All right, let's read some of the June one, and then we'll run into this one that was a few days ago. The spread of Mpox in Africa needs to be addressed urgently, according to the World Health Organization on Tuesday, again back in June. A scientist warned separately a dangerous strain is in the Democratic Republic of Congo. There is a critical need to address the recent surge in monkeypox cases in Africa. Now, Africa has everything there. Again, they have a shit healthcare system. They have shit medical programs. They have shit everything. So yes, it's going to spread a little easier there than it would here. There is a critical need to address, poor Africans and Mobutu and his family. All right. In a separate briefing, John Claude, can't pronounce that last name, of the University of Rwanda, who had been working on an outbreak in Congo, hard to reach South Kivu province, said the strain spreading there, a mutated version of the Clade 1 Mpox epidemic in Congo for decades, was extremely dangerous, and its fatality rate is around 5% in adults, 10% in kids. This year, roughly 6,800 Mpox cases have been reported, with only 410 deaths. That is a lot, to be honest. Chris Casita, the doctor in charge of the operation in the country's Mpox control program, told Reuters last week, again back in June. Mpox is a viral infection that spreads through close contact, causing flu-like symptoms, pus-filled lesions, and in a lot of cases are mild, but it can kill. Now again, that is the Clade 1 variant. Clade 2, variant, not the Clade 1. The mutated version is the Clade 1. That's the one with the deadlier outcome. You can still pass away from the Clade 2, but it is rare, and you also got to be like super old and shit. Anyway, a different, less severe form of it is the Clade 2B, spread globally in 2022, largely through sexual contact among men who have sex with men. It's fucking people. They don't want to say gay men. Homosexuals. They don't want to say that. They're gays, but the men who have sex with whatever. I can't stand when they say that. This prompted the WHO to declare a public health emergency. Although that has ended, and it hasn't, Lewis said on Tuesday that the disease remains a health threat amongst gay men. 2 people died in South Africa this month of this form of the virus after a handful of cases were diagnosed. Okay, arm tickets and treatment were being used to combat the global outbreak, but they are not available in the Congo. I wonder why. The place where it is starting, the ground zero of this thing, and they don't have the arm ticket or treatments there. I wonder fucking why. WHO and scientists said efforts are ongoing to address that problem. In South Kivu, Adulamuku and other researchers said that the new strain was spreading partially by sexual contact among men and women, particularly among sex workers. Well, stop banging those dirty fucking whores and you won't have these problems. Hooker whores and dirtiness. Anyway, he said other close contact routes need to be studied, with evidence of transmission at schools and former caregivers to children. Yeah, because the caregivers are banging the kids, tongue kissing them hello. The disease also seems to be causing miscarriage among pregnant women, as well as a long-term rash and lingering symptoms. Landry Muhula Mariska, a research coordinator in the health department of South Kyiv province, said 20 cases were arriving at the hospital in the mining town of Kituga every week. 20 cases every week. What the fuck is going on? Anyway, at the rate things are going, we risk becoming a source case for other countries. He said 24 of 26 provinces in Congo were affected, and the outbreak was the worst Mpox epidemic yet. Now, this is where shit gets interesting. The deadliest Mpox virus spreads across African countries who World Health Organization likely to declare a global emergency. Now, for those of you that remember, who wanted control over countries if they announced a global emergency? Meaning, anytime a medical condition or medical situation pops up, who has total control over that country? Now, they are going to have this meeting. Kamala Harris is going to, I think, before the end of the year, she's going to be the president of the United States. Something's going to happen to Biden. Biden hasn't shown his face since that last interview. From what I last heard, I don't follow it that closely, nor do I give a fuck. But nonetheless, Biden's going to step down as president of the United States. Kamala Harris is going to take over. Then Kamala Harris is going to hand the power over to who? When she hands over the power to who? Who's going to initiate this global, again, theorizing. Going to have this global health emergency nonsense and take total control over the United States. There is that option. The other option is Trump wins. Very small option. Trump wins. And he tells the WHO to go fuck themselves. And who is behind getting rid of Trump from the race? But whatever. Yeah, listen. This Mpox thing is insane. It's insanity. And they've been watching this for months. And now all of a sudden it's got a deadly cousin. Whatever. Mpox virus outbreak. Academic journal Science has warned against the spread of the Mpox virus across African countries. First reported in Congo, Mpox spread to Uganda, Kenya, and is now afraid to outspread across the continent. Soon after, the World Health Organization also expressed a growing distress around a suspected Mpox virus outbreak, WHO is likely to declare the international health emergency. Now, they can do that on country to country as well. It doesn't have to be a worldwide thing. They could do a global emergency and just lock down that country, which they should have done that months ago. They always wait till it spreads to another country or another continent, and they're like, oh, maybe we should do something. Fucking people. Let's go. The Director General of WHO, Tedros, whatever the hell his name is, said in a post on X that he is considering forming an international health regulation emergency committee to decide if declaring a global health emergency is needed amid the escalation of the virus. WHO Director General said in the same post that efforts are being made to scale up to prevent an Mpox virus transmission in collaboration with African Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Health Agency of African Union. He also underscored the lack of funding to bring all measures to prevent Mpox virus from transmitting. Although the Permanent Representative Committee of the African Union, AU, has released a $10.4 million from the existing Mr. 19 Fund for African Disease Control Prevention. What is the Mpox virus? It's the virus that the gay men are getting. No, just kidding. The Democratic Republic of Congo has a history of monkeypox outbreak, with the governor declaring a national emergency back in 2022. The Mpox or monkeypox virus, that's the first time they said monkeypox virus in this article, is a viral infection that causes skin rashes, headaches, fever, along with other symptoms. It is contagious. It is a contagious disease that can spread between animal and human. Being a communicable disease, Mpox virus can infect a person after contacting an infected human, lasting up to 2 to 4 weeks. Avoiding contact with Mpox virus infected humans and armed tickets are the two major preventions and management strategies. Bullshit. Yeah, go ahead, take the Mpox virus and watch your dick fall off. Right on the floor. So with that, guys, they're moving the what you call it right along. Now, before we go off the air, I want you guys to pay attention to this one. I think this is another curveball that they're going to whip out of their ass. A sloth-borne virus that has killed people in their 20s, rapidly spreading in Europe. A debilitating virus originated from sloths and transmitted by midgets. It's not midgets, but it sounds like midgets. Has been reported in Europe for the first time. Officials have confirmed. In June and July, 19 Europeans imported cases of the AllPower virus, as reported in the European Center for Disease Control. Spain accounted for 12 cases, Italy 5, Germany 2, and the Manchester Evening reported. The virus is primarily spread through insect bite, including mosquitoes, and originates from pale-throat sloths. Oh, and also originates from pale-throat sloths, non-human primate, and birds. Currently, there is no armed ticket available for this virus, which belongs in the same family of the disease of the Zika and dengue fever, excuse me, before I get yelled at. Mr. Danny Altman, a professor of immunology at Imperial College London, told Telegraph, "We should definitely be worried. Things are changing and may become unstoppable." Now, granted, this is spread through mosquitoes and sloths. I don't think we don't have any sloths here in the United States. And it says non-human primates and birds. I don't know if people are licking birds like that, but I can guarantee you in a month or two, all of a sudden chickens are going to develop they're going to be carrying the virus. Outbreaks of the virus have previously been reported in several countries across South and Central America, as well as the Caribbean. In 2024, specific outbreaks were recorded in Brazil, Bolivia, Colombia, Peru, and more recently in Cuba. Of those cases recorded in Europe, 18 involved recent travel to Cuba, while one case in Italy involved travel to Brazil. The AllPower, if I said that right, AllPower, can cause, and these are the symptoms: headaches, nausea, vomiting, muscle and joint pain, with severe symptoms occurring occasionally. These symptoms typically subside after 4 days. According to the ECDC, fatal outcomes are extremely rare and recovery is common. However, the Latents reported on July 25th that 2 deaths occurred by the AllPower were recorded for the first time in Brazil, involving 2 young women who had no underlying health conditions. Here the fuck we go. Between January and mid-July, more than 8,000 cases were reported in Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, Colombia, and Cuba. The ECDC assessed the risk of infection for EU citizens traveling to and or residing in an epidemic area as moderate due to the high number of cases reported in the Americas. European authorities had advised travelers to affected regions to use personal protective measures to reduce the risk of an insect bite, both during outdoor activity and inside the home. This includes the use of insect repellent and wearing long sleeve shirts and long trousers. Fuck you. I'm not wearing any of that shit. Well, listen, guys, that's what it is. There are other diseases popping up, so be aware of that. Follow along to a lot of the nonsense that's being pushed. I think, guys, they're just getting their ducks in a row, and something is going to pop out of one of these. Now, the dengue fever, that's another one that's been on the rise in South America. They've been worried about that too. But the monkeypox, dengue fever are the two that they're worried about, especially now that the monkeypox is deadly. Dengue fever can also be deadly as well. But this is another one to watch. This is a rare disease that popped up here and there. And they said deaths are rare, but two 20-year-olds just died from it. Anyway, keep that in the back of your head. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go off the air now. I'm going to head over to the Angry Truth channel. I'm going to start that right away as soon as I end this. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. I will probably have a live stream, a doubleheader Friday night, not Thursday night. I am working. And I might do a Wednesday midweek report for Tuesday tomorrow. All right, guys, other than that, thank you for joining me. Talk to you guys later.